Another quick one in for a Saturday afternoon. Big old Tanglewood guitar, don't know what it is, TW55D. It's a big guitar, that is. Is it a dreadnought? A D stand for dreadnought? It is huge! And what's the problem with this? Well, no problem as such. The action's a little bit high, the nut is cut too high, and the bridge is a little bit high. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a setup. I'm going to polish the frets, we're going to clean up the fingerboard. I'm going to remove a little bit of material from the bottom of this saddle. Not too much because I can't go a lot, we're going to go about 2 mil. So take about 3/4 mil off that side, millimetre off this side. And the nut is cut a little bit too high. We'll take about 1/3 of a millimetre off there. Cut the nut slots a little bit deeper, get the action a little bit lower. The owner has said the action's a little bit high for him. It is, I would say it's about, it looks about right to me. Looks about 2.5 millimetres, which I would have thought would be okay. So what I think I'm going to do is, it's exactly 2.5 millimetres, there's nothing wrong with that action. I'm going to take 1/2 millimetre off the bottom of the saddle, and I'm going to take 1/5 of a millimetre out of these nut slots, and that is it. We're going to give it a setup, we're going to plug it in, we're going to test it. I've had it plugged in, it plays nice, it sounds good. Nice big boomy sound out of that. It's not horrible at all, is it? It's beautiful. Electro acoustic, nice Fishman icing. It's not Fishman, it's a B-band EQ in there. Absolutely fantastic. So, nothing untoward, just a setup. We'll polish some frets, we'll lower the action just a little. I would have thought about 1/3 of a millimetre would be alright. We don't need to go much lower than it actually is, so it's not bad. It just, the owner, he says you can just feel it's a little bit high, so we'll get that sorted out. I don't know if I'm really going to film anything. What is it to film on something like this? But I will come back with an update in a while. So, moving on with this lovely Tanglewood acoustic or semi-acoustic guitar. So, regarding the saddle, I have shaved some off the bottom. It's a bone saddle, by the way. How do I know it's bone? Well, because when you sand it, it absolutely stinks. And I've sanded with some 240 grit paper, this on a flat surface. I've just gone across and removed 1/3 of a millimetre from this side, hardly anything from this side. I don't need to go any more than that. That's as much as I will take off. How do I know it's bone? It absolutely stinks when you sand it. It doesn't smell nice at all, it's not pleasant, but that is done. I could not remove any more. I don't know how much you can see there, but look how low down we are there. I don't remove any more than that. I could, if I really wanted to, shave some off the top of this bridge, but I don't think I need to. That is low enough in my estimation. So we're going to move on to the nut slightly, or in a bit should I say, soon. But what I want to do is I want to get the neck straight, and I've already got the neck straight off camera. 4mm truss rod adjuster here, down at the tip. Got the neck absolutely straight, not a straight edge on there. You notice I'm rushing, it's not so much I'm in a rush, but take my word for it, neck is absolutely straight. And we're going to go across with fret rocker and see if we need to dress any frets. Strings we'll be going with, by the way. David, Mr. Marshall, has bought round a couple of sets of strings. He says, I bought you 2 sets because I snapped one last time. I said, well, I'm not going to snap one, but thank you for the 2 sets. I'll leave one in the guitar box. But anyway, for those of you who don't know what this is, it is what we call a fret rocker. It has 4 edges, 2, 3, 4 of varying lengths. There's a reason for those lengths. We check 3 frets at a time, and there's one high one already. And what we do is 3 at a time, and if we get a rock like that, we know the middle of those 3 is higher than it needs to be. And as we progress up along the neck, we turn it round, and as we get, so we can always do 3 frets. And by the time we're at this end, we'll be on the shortest side, and we can check the frets like so. So there's quite a few on there. I already know I'm going to do a fret level on this guitar, which is going to add a few pounds to the overall job. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go across. Now this is not your cheap £5 tat off eBay. This is a 15 quid version. This is laser cut. It's precision milled flat as well. So it's laser etched, so we get it absolutely straight, absolutely flat. 15 quid this one. Been using this for years. It's my favourite one. It works. But what we're going to do is we're going to mark up any frets that are high. Any more than 5 frets, we're going to level the lot. It's going to put a little bit of extra money on the job. I will let David know. But anyway, let's start. Let's go across. So already. Fret 2 is high. It's high in 2 areas. We have 3 areas of a centre. We have this side, we have that side already. Wrong side. We're going to mark up. Let's just check it again. That side's okay. So 2 areas, basically 5mm inside, 5mm inside. So I'm going to check all of them. Because David wants such a low action, we have to make sure these frets are absolutely level. There's another one, just in the middle. If we keep this to 5 or 6, it won't be so expensive. But because he wants such a low action, we have to make sure the frets are absolutely right. And so far, so good. We only have 2 at the moment. That one in the middle. That one across there. 2 areas again. Normally the one where it meets the body, the 14th, is high, but that one isn't. So, well, that was high. In the middle there. So that's already 4. That edge and that edge. Just the 2 edges on that. That's 5 frets. 6. 7. Wow, that is really high. So we've got 7 frets, need attention. Check this one again. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to move the camera and I'm going to show that we have this neck absolute flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 frets. 7 frets is not something I can do where I can just do these 7 and it's going to work, because the problem is, say this fret for instance, it's got that area is high. Now, just to prove it's high, you can hear the rock, yeah? Same as this one. Now the thing is, if I remove material from this 1 fret, it's going to alter the relationship with these 2 frets, especially if I alter this 1 fret. This is a high one, this will explain it better. If I remove material from that fret, it's going to alter the relationship between these 2 frets this side and these 2 frets this side. So it could mean that if I remove material from there, I'm going to have to remove material from either of these. So because I'm working on 1 fret, it could actually in effect alter the relationship between the 2. So if I just alter that one a little bit, I could also need to slightly change areas on these 2 frets either side. So 1 fret, this 1 fret has a relationship with 4 more frets. You understand what I'm saying? If I take some height from there, then this may become, if I remove that material, this then may become high. So just because I'm changing 1 fret, it doesn't mean it's only that one that's going to work. This is why I prefer to skim the whole lot with a level beam. Now doing that, skimming across the whole lot with a level beam, when I can find my levelling beam, where it at somewhere? How have I lost that in 5 minutes? Here it is. It makes much more sense to level all of them together. And again, this beam is milled perfectly flat. It has 240 grit sandpaper there, 400 grit there. And if I do all of the frets like that and follow the radius, they can only end up level. So when I get to something like any more than 5 frets, when I get to 7 like this, I prefer to do this. What that means is though, rather than me recrowning, by recrowning, what I'm going to do is when I level them, we'll go flat, and I need to put that crown back in along this way, and that's going to take hours to do the lot. But the thing is, the best way to do it is to do all of the frets in one fell swoop, like so, and we can't fail to get them all level with each other. And I'm glad I'm not tough, because that was going to come off anyway. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to level all of the frets, and I'm going to recrown all of the frets. And you can see I'm already removing material, and what I'll do is I'll go and check, and we've already removed that rock there. a little tiny bit high. So I'm going to level all of the frets. We're going to go that route. I'm going to text Mr. Marshall, let him know he needs his frets leveling. It's going to, obviously, it's going to be more expensive, but the guitar will be good for many years to come once all of the frets are done. So I've changed the angle. You can now see everything that I can see. I'll leave that leveling beam out. I've just been on the phone with Mr. Marshall. He is okayed the work already. I just said, look, you need a fret level. There's no way around it. So what we're going to do is, we're going to go across again with the fret rocker, highlighting all of the frets that are high. Now, I have just actually lowered a couple, but that is okay. They're still higher than we need to be. There's quite a lot of wear on these ones as well. So we're not going to make everything too weedy. We're not going to bring everything down too much. I'm just going to remark these frets that are high, so we can just go across with the fret rocker and we can see where we need to do the work. There you go, there you go, there you go. And there was one that had a couple of ends. I think it was this one. I think that's where we are. Or was it that one? We'll soon find out. But anyway, we're going to go across with fret rocker. You will be listening for the rock. There you go. That one. That one. Quite a bit of a rock on there. That's 2 frets. 3. 3. Quite a high one that. 4. Get to this edge. 5. This edge. Still 5 because it's the same fret. Fret 6 and this one. Fret 7. Fret 7. Now, something I didn't show you. I'm going to go across with a notched straight edge. This determines how flat and level the neck is. There you go, straight across here. What we do is once that's on, we alter the truss rod until we've got the neck absolutely straight. And we have that neck absolutely straight. That is beautiful. So you're seeing there's nothing untoward. I do have a light pen somewhere. Now, what have I done with it? No hecking idea. It is knocking about somewhere, but do I know where? I do not. I'll tell you what we'll do. We shall stick the light, get the light of my phone, torch, there you go. And you are going to shine this underneath and you're going to see that there's no light underneath this beam. If there was, can you see that? You would see it. So there's no light under there. So we have a neck absolutely straight. I've just shown that the frets are not level. And we have no option but to, I've just explained to Dave on the phone, if I alter this one, it can alter the relationship between the 2 this side and 2 this side. Just show that again. So if I remove material from that, then these 2 could then also go out of whack because I remove material from there. This one could then become high. So the best way to work this situation is to take a completely level beam like so. This is milled absolutely level. Expensive piece of 2B1 steel this. Cost me 30 odd quid to have it milled flat on both sides. And I have some 240 grit on the bottom, some 400 grit on the top. And what we shall do is we'll tape up the sound hole. I'll get some tape all across the fingerboard and we are going to go across and we're going to level the fingerboard like so. We're going to be leveling all of the frets, following the radius. This needs some fresh paper on there actually, so I will go and change the paper shortly. I'm not going to do the old job now because I don't want to be getting any stuff in the sound hole. So we're going for a full fret level on this. That means also when it comes to flattening the frets across this way, I'm going to have to put that crown back in, which is going to take me quite a while. Then I'll have to polish all of the frets. It is about a 5-hour job. I'm not charging the earth for this. About 5 hours working there, but the thing is, once it's done, this guitar will play like an absolute dream. Like I say, I've already cut the saddle, that's finished. I will recarve the slots in this nut, take them a little bit lower, just to get the action absolutely right. And once we've done, this guitar will play like a dream. And I would imagine, even the frets as they are, even though they're a little bit worn, I imagine you've got a good 5-10 years left in this guitar yet. and we can always look in the future at replacing frets at some other time, but they certainly don't need replacing right now. They just need leveling and crowning, and so I will get to it. I'm going to work for another hour or so today, see how much we can get done. We're in no rush for this, but I've told David it will be done by the end of the week. So check back, be safe now, talk to you soon. Moving swiftly on, I've levelled the frets. You'll now see, or hopefully you can see, they're all covered in black marker. I'm going to finish off going across with a 400 grit paper. A couple of reasons I do a 400 grit. Because I've done this all with 240 grit, there will be lines going this way in my frets. And using a 400 grit will smooth off some of those lines. It'll also let me know if I am absolutely level across the whole length of a fingerboard. And it shouldn't take a lot, because if I've got the frets properly level, it shouldn't take a lot of work. And you'll see, hopefully you can see, that the pen is gone off all frets in all areas. Every fret is now silver on the top. Don't believe me? Let's just have a, it's not that you don't believe me, let's just lift that up ever so slightly. And there you go, the pen has been removed from all of the frets. That means that the frets are all level, which is a great thing, because that is what we were after doing. But just to check, we'll take a fret rocker again. And I'm just going to go straight up the middle of each one, because I know these frets are level, because I've already checked them. And the reason I do the pen thing is just to show you guys. That's a tiny bit high, but no problem. Also, we have removed all of the divots. Notice how we're following. We're not going up the edge of a guitar, we are following the radius, so we overlap on this side because we're following the radius up here. And again, we'll check fret 14 again. Oh, was it fret? Yeah, it was fret 14, this one. And there you go, we are now level, and we'll check all of these. And we have levelled the frets. But because we've levelled them, the frets are now flat across the top, and we need to put in that crown. They're flat on the top, we need to put the crown in, and it goes this way. And we're just going to feel we've got rid of all the divots on these frets down here as well. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to move the camera again, just ever so slightly. I'm going to go a little bit higher, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to crown these frets. This is a bit of a rush video today. I wouldn't normally video everything on every guitar, because obviously I've got a lot of work on at the moment, and time is money, so to speak. And the less time I spend waffling on about things I'm going to do and what needs to be done and how to do it, then I have more time for actually doing the work. Sorry about this, the camera, but I'm going to set the camera up while I'm talking rather than stop, start. There you go. Now you can see, and I'm going to do a quick explanation on how I do this. What I'm going to do is, I normally would tape up the whole fingerboard, but just for ease of reference, and because I'm doing this quick, just for the benefit of you guys, I'm going to tape 2 frets that I'm going to work on. And where am I? That's right in the middle, isn't it, that one? And this one's too far away. Is this one right in the middle? That's perfect. So we're going to do these 2. We're going to do frets 1 and 2, because we are in the middle of the screen. It means I can zoom in without moving the camera again. So there you go. Just going to tape. I wouldn't normally tape up the whole fingerboard, but just for the purpose of showing you how we do these frets, I'm trying to think and work at the same time. We're just going to do these 2, and what we're going to do is I'm going to pen over the top. And now what we're going to be looking for is, you'll notice these are flat across the top, and we want to put that crown back in. So I'm going to go and grab some of the stuff out of the way. It's not so much, it's not really chaos in here today, but there's a lot of things happening in this room today, because I've had 4 guitars come in this morning, and I knew a couple were coming in. I had a rush job on, which I've already done. But anyway, let's concentrate on what we're doing right here, right now. We know the frets are level because we've levelled them. So I'm going to just bring over 3 files for the purpose of crowning. And what I'm going to do is, I could quite easily use this profiling file. It's already got a groove in, but because these frets are only about 2.2mm wide, I'm not going to. I don't use this anyway. I prefer to use a 3-cornered file. This one, and each edge, this edge, that edge, and this top edge here, they are rounded off, smoothed off. So the reason that is we're not going to dig into the fingerboard. But the reason I use a 3-edge file like this, for instance, is I'm going to build that crown myself. Blah 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 blah, like so. We'll start with flat, and I'm going to build it. And what we're going to do is, on the far side of the fret, I'm going to file, and I'm going to lean the file toward the camera, and we're going to start to build up the crown on the far side. And when that's done, we'll come this side, and we'll build it up again, and we're arcing away from the camera. We'll build it up that side. Now, what we must always have a clean file, because I'm going to be picking up little filings here, and they're going to get stuck inside. But anyway, let's begin. Nice steady strokes. So one direction file this, so I can go, it only cuts on the push. But you see now I'm marking it toward the camera. Then I'm going to come this side, I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to angle the file away. And then what I'm looking for is a thin black line down the centre of the fret, which is exactly what I've got. And that is the contact point between the top of the fret and the string. That is around about 0.5mm. That's really, really good. We're probably looking for about 0.4. This comes with experience, you get to feel, and that is beautifully crowned. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish off. I don't want to remove the black line because I don't want to remove any height. I just want to start building up that crown. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the crowning file. I'm just going to come over the edges, not over the middle, just to remove any burrs. I'm going to come this side and do exactly the same. And then I'll just give one swipe across, like so. To finish off, I have a 3rd file. This is a diamond encrusted file, really, really smooth cut. And we're just going to remove any burrs, like so. And that is that 1 fret crowned. Always diamond file, a little bit of wet, give it a wipe, see there. Give it a wet wipe, and we give it a dry wipe, and that is ready for the next fret. Great file this. It was a gift from Nigel Roberts from Leicestershire Luthier. What a guy he is. Anyway, there you go. That is one done. I'll show you one more. What I'll do first is, because I've now done that one and recrowned it, we're going to check height. And it's perfect. We've got no rock anywhere. So we're not removing anything off for height, because we know the frets are all level with each other. There's a little tiny bit of a burr there. I'm just going to make sure we have that out of the way. I just saw it. And there you go, that is done. Absolutely beautiful. I'm going to do the same with this fret. I'm going to show you one more. And then I'm going to crack on and get the rest of them done. 15, 16, 20 fret affair, this one. So again, far side, cuts on the push. So we'll just push nice and gentle. I'm starting to arc it toward the camera. There you go. Now this side, I'm going to arc the file away from the camera. Just start building up that crown. Steady the guitar. There you go. Absolutely beautiful. And that is it. We have that thin black line down the centre of the fret. So from it being flat on top, we've now put that crown in there. Again, clean the file. Straight down the groove. Beautiful. And the diamond file clean, nice dry wipe again. Check that we have no rock anywhere. We don't, it means we remove no height. So there you go. So what I'm going to do now is going to tape up the rest of the fingerboard. I do have 18 more to do, so I'm going to crack on with that. Once that's done, we can move on to the polishing stage. We are really cracking on today, guys. There we are, a much more familiar view for people who tune into my YouTube regularly. We have the fingerboard all taped up, we have the body protected for when we file and crown these frets, because we're not going to be digging into the body. We have the sand hole covered, so we can't get any dust dropping in there. And what I need to do now is mark up all of these frets ready for crowning. And all I'm going to do today is I'm going to crown these. I won't be doing any polishing or anything else today. Once this is done, I'm knocked off for the day because I wasn't going to be working today. But I've had 4 guitars come in. 2 were booked in, 2 others were additional. One of the additionals I've already done, that's been in, had some fret work, had a setup and gone back out. This one I was expecting it just to be a setup, but it's actually turned into a fret job. So I've actually worked all day today and I've enjoyed it, it's really good. And I've earned some pennies, which is always good, isn't it? So I'm going to just get these frets recrowned and then I'll finish for the day. I am actually playing at church in the morning. And I know I have 8 songs to go through. I've not gone through them yet. Now the thing is about these songs, I played at church last week, a Sunday night, at our worship event, Transform Worship Night, and I think most of the songs I'm doing tomorrow are from that list. So I am familiar with all of the songs anyway, so it's not like I've got to learn anything. I just like to skim through them tonight. So I'm going to have an hour with, I'll have my iPad out, I will load up the songbook and I will skim through the songs. I'll have about an hour at that, just skim through, make sure I know the chords. Which I probably do anyway. So I'm going to, like I say, I'm just going to do these frets. I have 18 more to do. The difficult ones will be these ones, so I'm going to start at this end, get the hard ones out of the way. See here, I'm going to be digging into, this is why we tape up the guitar. Come on the other side, I just want to try and stay just off it. I don't want to be digging into anything. That's pretty much okay. And if I need to come round, I can come round to this side and work this way. It's no great hardship. Same again there. I could turn the guitar around 180 degrees if I wanted to. I don't need to. That's absolutely fine. Blow off all of the dust. 2.5 mil side there. Again. Absolutely beautiful. Come this side, nice and steady. Hold the guitar, and there you go. That is as difficult as it is. I will then take the diamond file, and I will come across the top, and I'll do it from this side. Come round to this side. Couple of scoots, and that is recrowned. Always clean the file. There you go, beautiful, ready for the next one. 17 more to do. I'm going to crack on. Once that's done, we can get on with the polishing. And there we are, and the frets are levelled. They are now crowned. I'm just going to go across with the fret rocker and they are ready for polishing. That is a fabulous afternoon's work today on a day I was not going to be working. Frets are level. Beautiful. I've not checked them, so you're checking them with me. Fantastic job, well done. And the thing is, this is bread and butter for me. I do this job every day of the week, don't I? So I am, you know, I always know my work's good, but that is fantastic. The frets are level all the way down the length of the fingerboard. And well, that was a little bit high. I'll check that one again when I come back polish on Monday. This will be the 2019. Number 17 is a little bit high, just on one edge. We'll sort that out. But that's brilliant. Really pleased with that. We're ready for polishing. I'll be polishing with 5 different grits of sandpaper, going up from 800 grit through to 2000 grit. So 800, 1000, 1200, 1500, 2000. Once we have polished with sandpaper, we'll finish off with steel wool. Now the reason we polish with finer grits is we put scratches in that way when we followed them. Now we'll put scratches in this way. Now we've crowned them. And what we're going to do is we're going to polish out all of the scratches, and we use a finer grit each time. So we'll start with 800, build as well to 2000, And what we do is we don't just polish them to shine. That is a myth. You don't polish anything to shine. What you do is you polish to remove scratches and to shine. So that's what we'll do. But probably the first thing we do on Monday morning. If I'm up early, I'm in this workshop before 7 o'clock, I will crack on with that. Another couple of hours of work in this. The saddle is already cut and finished, which I already mentioned. And the knot I'll cut once I have got all of the frets done. So not too much work left in this. A little bit time consuming. But no major work. So tune back in early next week. So moving on with this Tanglewood, we are now ready for polishing the frets. And how I polish the frets is I go through 6 different grits of sandpaper, which actually 5 different grits of sandpaper today. Blah 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 blah. That's all we're going to need. 800 grit, 1000, 1200, 1500 and 2000 grits of sandpaper. I thought I'd got 6 pieces there, but I've got 5. That will be absolutely fine. Really simple procedure. We take the sandpaper like so, and we are going to go across the top. And once we're going across the top, we're going to get into the corners. So each side, I'm on the far side from the camera at the moment. Now I'm coming to the near side of the camera, and then we go back across the top. I said 6 grits of paper, by the way. What I normally do is I'd normally go and get some 600 grit and I'd round over these edges. And I'm going to do that off camera in a minute. I take my word for it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to polish with these 5 grits. And what we do is we systematically remove the lines, those scratches that way from a file and that way from a file. And we use a progressively tighter grit. And what it does is it removes the scratches and it brings them to a shine. That's the 2 reasons we polish. We don't polish things just to make them shine. We polish to remove scratches and to make them shine. So that's going to take me quite a while. This is where the long-winded process of this job comes in. I've got 20 frets times 5 grits of paper. It's 100 polishes I've got to do. Then I finish off polishing with the finest grade steel wool. So it's 6 polishers in all. I do have, just bear with me a second, just trying to get the 600 grit. I've got some 600 grit paper here. Bear with me a second, just need to cut this. Beautiful. So we've taken some 600 grit, and what I'll do with the 600 grit is I will round over each fret edge, just to remove any slight burrs we may have, and we shouldn't have any. And what I'll do is once I've done this up and down the whole fingerboard, bear with me a second. I'm back. Wow, something amazing just happened. That was my next door neighbour knocking on the door. And I thought, why is someone knocking so loud? But look at this. He's just given me 2 tickets to the guitar show in Birmingham on the 24th of February. I've never been to the guitar show in Birmingham and I was considering going. Now I am going. How fantastic is that? So where was I? Totally lost it now. Totally flummoxed. Here you go. 600 grit. That's 800. I've lost my paper and everything. I've gone to bits. I did have some there. Okay, I'll use another piece of 600. I'm going to crack on rolling over these fret edges here, like so. Well, that's it. Really happy with that. Over the moon. But anyway, I'm going to roll over these fret edges like so, and then I'm going to crack on with the polishing, and I will come back, give you an update later. And here we are, right at the end of polishing, and I've gone through with the 6 grits like I said I would. I did get the 600 grit out, and I'm now finishing off with the finest grade steel wool. I've polished all the frets, finished off with finest grade steel wool, which is grade 0000. I've just got the last 2 to do, and what we'll do is we'll go across the top. This is the easy part of polishing. We'll get into this far side, we'll come the other side, we'll get right into this near side, into these 2 corners, then we'll finish off by going across the top again. So I've got one more to do. Nice and firm, nice firm strokes here. Get on the far side into that corner, near side into that corner, and there we go. And those frets are polished. And I will get my magnifying glass and I will have a look at myself. And they are stunning. They're absolutely beautiful. They're like glass. Let me get you in on the act. Is that any good for you? Maybe it's not so clear, I don't know. but they look stunning. Maybe I can just hold up the guitar just a little, like so, and they are beautiful. So I'm going to peel off the tape, going to glue the nut back in place. In fact, I'll glue the nut in place. I'll peel this little bit of tape off. We'll glue the nut back and we'll get it onto the other bench. Get all the tape peeled off, and we shall get some strings on it and get it set up and finished. So absolutely beautiful. They look nice. They look really, really nice. But they always do. Why am I surprised? Why do I sound surprised? That is beautiful. So like I say, got to get the nut on, clean up this nut slot a little, get some super glue on there, we'll glue the nut on, get all the tape off, remove all the tape, wipe the guitar over, get some strings in it, get it set up, and it will be good to go. Wrong way. There you go. No great shakes with anything there, no great dramas. We have the tape off, the fingerboard oiled, the frets levelled, recrowned and polished, and I think you'll agree that they look absolutely wonderful. They look fantastic. We're all level, we're all recrowned, they're all polished. That neck will play like a dream. A few things I have to do before I put it all back together. I've also put some mineral oil on the bridge. I will check every screw, blah 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 blah, and every bolt or whatever on these tuners before I put it together. I'll tighten up the strap pins. I'll give the guitar a wipe over, and then we'll stick on a set of Martin 11 custom lights. I would imagine these are an 1152 set, and they are exactly that, 1152. Dave sent me 2 sets of these because he says he snapped one putting some strings on before, so he bought me 2 just in case. I'm not going to snap one. I'm going to take my time and do it. I mean, saying that, I have snapped many strings before, especially top E strings, 9s and 10s, crikey. That's why I don't buy road sound strings anymore, because they always, the 9s and 10s always seem to snap on me. So anyway, so there you go. So yes, do what I said, get the strings on, get it all set up, and I'll come back and show you how it looks. We'll have a test of how it plays, we'll test the electrics and everything, and get it all back in its case, ready to go back to its owner. So now I've got the strings on this guitar, the last thing I've got to do is lower the action on the nut, and that is because the strings are quite high above the first fret, and the higher they are, the harder we have to press to play the next chord. So an F, for instance, is likely going to be sharp, so I'm going to bring them down. I'll take the E and the A down to about 0.4 millimeters above the first fret. The D, I will be looking for about 0.3 millimeters. And because this is an 1152 gauge set and my files are for a 1046, I'm going to use the next, basically I'm going to use the next one up, or the next gauge up. So because this is a 32, I'm going to use a 36 file. And I'm going to measure this one, the D string, because I've already done the E and the A. And I can see that we're about 1/3 of a millimeter too high there, so we are going to just carve into the slot, for a bit more depth. We're not going to go mental. A straight carve will do. We're not going down much. I know we've not gone out on the end because it's still in tune. So we're going to keep going. It's always better to take out too little. That's just ringing a 0.3, so that's fine. And I say 0.3, you kind of do a weighted average. Like I'll start at 0.4 at this one, working down to 0.25 at this one. And I say 0.4 for that, but I'll go a little bit less. And I say 0.3 for this, I'll go bang on. And a little bit less for that one. So we're now going to do the G string. Try and keep my hand out of the way. Not too high, this one. Just ringing, that's perfect. These two, I'm going to go 0.25 on the next two. Probably down to about 0.2 on this one. So 0.25, just have a measure. That string's only a 15, so I'm going to go with, just stab my finger. I'm going to go with a 13, and I'm going to slightly flare it open. So we don't need to remove a lot of material here, so we'll just go in and then we'll just flare both ways, and that should be enough. Go a little bit more. Again, the 13. We'll just flare each side just to open it up a little, to make it a little bit wider than the 13. That should be bang on. And the last one, which is it's an 11 gauge, I'll take the 10 gauge. In fact, let's check the height first. Let's not just go cutting. Let's have a little check. I could go down to 0.2 on this. 0.25 will be okay. So we're going to take the 10 gauge, which is there. We're just going to remove a little material again, and we're just going to flare. And that should just about be enough. Perfect. So that is the nut cut. So the action is beautiful. I'm just going to check the neck now. It'll be a 25 1/4 scale length on a Tanglewood. Is it 25 1/4? I'm not sure now. What did I check it yesterday? It might not be. 25 1/2. Let's have a look. It's a 25 1/2. There you go. We've got just the right amount of relief in there. The action is anything around about 2.5 millimeters will be good. It's about 2.75, a little higher than we would have liked. And we're 2 millimeters on the high, but that is absolutely fine. So I'm just going to tune it in and we'll be good to go. And here we are, all done. And it's a big booming guitar. It's a Tanglewood TW55D LXB. It's huge, it's a right big guitar, and it's all done. And let's recap what we have done on this guitar. It came in just for a setup. The action is a little bit high, but I can't really go any lower on that saddle, so I'm going to leave it where it is. I'll say a little bit high, it's not. It's actually a medium. It's what we call a medium height on there. It's not higher than you'd expect on an acoustic guitar. Myself, I would like to have gone down to about 2.25 millimeters. This is just a nudger over 2.5 millimeters on the low E, and just a tiny, it's just a hair over 2 mil on the high E, sorry, and 2.5 mil on the low E, or 2.75 on the low E. The guitar is massive and it sounds big. Sounds huge, a beautiful looking thing. It is coming for a setup. It's had the nut recut, it's had the frets polished for fingerboard treated, and we have levelled all of the frets. The owner didn't know it wanted a fret level, but it did. Once we got to 5, 6 or 7, there's no point doing them because when you alter one it alters those around it, so we decided to go with the lot. I've had to re-crown all of the frets and polish the lot. Good few hours gone into this, but it is beautiful and you can tell, and it makes all the difference. The guitar is set up wonderfully. Beautiful thing. Big set of Martin 1152s on there. Sounds really, really good. I've not plugged it in. I may try and plug it in later. I'll have 5 minutes on it if I have got time. I'm really very busy at the moment, so I don't really have time to be faffing about. So it's basically get the work done, get it videoed, get it out. So that is it. Another project is finished. I'm Victor Christian. I'm your fret friend. I've just I've given a great gift this morning. I was gifted 2 tickets to the Birmingham Guitar Show, so I'm going to be there on Sunday. So I've just gone and ordered a reprint of a load of new business cards, which it's cost me as much to get them here for Friday as it has to get them printed. But hey, that's the way it goes. But anyway, until next time, boys and girls, I'm Victor Christian signing off. I'm your fret friend. Check me out at facebook.com/ng17. That's facebook.com/NGONESEVEN. Keep your eyes open, keep them peeled, because I've got a website being built. That will be at fretfriend.co.uk. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I'm Victor Christian. I'm signing off. So until next time, boys and girls, God bless. Big good to each other, and I'll see you soon.